if demand changes as a result of change in price of other commodities, right? Cross demand. Then composite demand is particular commodity is demanded for. Highly important. We cannot afford to compensate on these commodities. If the price goes up, we buy same quantity as before, or sometimes we increase the quantity and it does not follow the law of demand. Another factor, can you tell me? Any other exception you find? Or থাকিব পাৰে নেকি exception? Just think a while and tell me. This is just one example. Giffen goods, those goods in which if the price increases, demand also increases, these goods are called Giffen goods. But any other situation in which we find the law of demand is not applicable? কি হ'ব পাৰে? In case of any adverse situation or something, anything. Dhemaji phala kunba asa niki? Anyone from Lakhimpur, Dhemaji, that particular area? Okay. Is your place a flood affected area? Yes. So what happens during flood time?
People doesn't get their food and commodities like water, shelter.
Do you experience any situation of changes in price during flood time?
Yes.
What do you expect?
Change in price of one unit, potato.
Potato. It goes up or down? Goes up. At that time, what do you do? If you expect that there is flood and
Just to buy more and keep in store.
keeping in store. That is the situation you see. His area is affected by flood. This is not a normal situation. He experienced a certain unnatural situation at some time of the year, and expecting rise in the price of essential commodities, he buys more. He builds up stock. And sellers also at that time taking advantage of it, that they gradually increase the price. But with the increase in the price, he is also buying more. Because he knows that there will be shortages of essential goods. Is it not? There will be shortages of essential goods, and he buys more, although the price is increasing. If there is a war, again the unnatural situation will take place, and there will be severe crisis of food and other essential commodities. So the sellers find it very profitable. They will increase the price, and we also buy more, because we need to live on certain essential commodities, right? So ultimately we buy more even if the price goes up. In case of share market, when the price of a share of a particular commodity goes up, people expect that it will further increase, so they buy more. If the share price of a particular company goes down, they expect that it will fall because of certain problem in the industry, so they try to sell more. They don't buy. If it goes up, people find that it will be more profitable, they buy more. And when there is increased demand, seller will again increase the price. People expect that it will further rise, they will buy more. But if someone sells, if the price of a particular company, share of a particular company comes down, people expect that it is falling because of some problem in the company. Company is not doing well, profit is coming down. So ultimately they try to sell. They don't buy. There is a panic sale also at some point of time. And when the people start selling, demand for this comes down. When the price comes down, price of the shares comes down. When share price falls, people don't buy. When share price goes up, people buy more. They expect a profit under that situation. So there are certain situations. This we shall list out here one by one. First is the prestige goods or conspicuous goods. This is another thing. There are certain goods which value by the rich people. They give more value. Rich people, they give more value to certain goods. Rare paintings. These goods will have more price, and when there is a more high price, then only there will be demand. Otherwise, there is no demand. As for example, a cricket bat, how much it costs? Cricket khela lora asa nai? Is there anyone who plays cricket? Or if you don't play cricket also, then also you should have some understanding about the price of a cricket bat. How much it may be, a very good quality bat? 10,000? Okay, 10,000 lobo. Okay, a 10,000 rupees. But what will be the price of a cricket bat autographed by Sachin Tendulkar? How much it will be? 10 lakhs. And there are buyers to buy this kind of bats. To that particular buyer, if you take an ordinary same bat, suppose SG or BDM, these are the standard brands. If you take a plain bat, then he will not pay you that 10 lakhs of rupees. But if it is autographed by Sachin Tendulkar, then definitely that in a particular auction, it will catch not less than 10-15 lakhs of rupees. Because people buy this commodity because there is a prestige attached to it. So in case of this conspicuous or prestige goods, they will have more demand if the price is more. Because certain people feel very honored keeping these particular commodities in store. The rare paintings, that will have more value because because high price ultimately brings prestige to that particular commodity, and buyers feel prestigious keeping it in his possession. Then necessaries of life, medicines. If the price goes up also, you shall have to buy the same medicine as before because you cannot compromise on your life. You cannot compromise. The price goes up, buy more medicine na khao. You cannot just think like this. You will sell your properties and buy medicines. These are the necessaries of life. You shall have to buy. People behave in that manner. This is a normal practice. Price goes up, demand also goes up. Pressure drop, sadai manhe khai thake. If the price goes up, people never stops buying because it is linked to his life. People buy same quantity of medicine as before. Then similarly, certain goods like salt, potato, wheat, our staple foods, all will buy at the same quantity even if price goes up. So these particular situations never follow that law of demand. That means when price goes up, quantity demanded falls. It is not applicable here. Another thing is the speculative activities. That in case of share prices, I already told you, sometimes people speculate that the share price of this particular company will go up. On the basis of speculation, suppose there are 2-3 speculators are there. They speculate that share price of these two companies goes up. And they start buying shares. And seeing the gradual buying of shares, price gradually goes up. And seeing that increase in the price of that particular company's share, other buyers, they feel that this will be profitable to buy at this moment. They will also start buying. And because of gradual increase in demand, sellers are also gradually increasing. Demand is also increasing at the same time. Reverse is the case. If suppose that those two speculators, they feel that this share price will come down, they start selling. When they start selling, the share price will fall initially. And seeing it fall, some other shareholders will also join. They will also start selling their shares of that particular company. And cumulative effect is that share price of that particular company falls. There is no demand. All are selling. Then in case of ignorance also it happens. We do not know actually what is the price. So even if the price is increasing, we buy more. This is because of ignorance, it sometimes happens. certain people behave in this manner because they are not aware about the price, actual price of a particular commodity. If the price is also rising, they also start buying more. Then finally, the last factor is abnormal conditions. So during situations like war, famine, flood, riots, etc., during the recent Golaghat trouble, there was a curfew in Golaghat market and also in Bukakhat. When the curfew was relaxed, you buy because you know that you expect that the curfew will be continuing. So whatever the price, you buy more. If the sellers are also increasing the price, you buy more. Because that is an abnormal situation. You must have your essential commodities in store so that at least you can run for 3-4 days. So if the price is also rising, you buy more during that sort abnormal situations. So this is under these situations at the time of war, at the time of famine, flood, drought, riots, this kind of abnormal situations, consumers do not behave according to the law of demand. Rather, they buy more even if the price is rising. So, under this situation, what will be the shape of the demand curve? What will be the shape of the demand curve? Will it be the same as before, like downward sloping from left to right? Will it be the same as before as downward sloping from left to right? কি হব শেপটো? Upward from left to right. That means this will take this particular shape. Demand curve will take this particular shape. Although it is not a normal shape of the demand curve. It is not it is under certain abnormal situation. When a man is not normal, what we say normally? What we say when a man is not normal? We don't use this particular word in this economics, but we say perverse. We say perverse. He is not normal, but he is perverse. So it is a perverse demand curve. This demand curve is not normal. Under abnormal situations, this particular shape takes place. So we call it as perverse demand curve. So this is all about your change in demand. There are two types of change in demand, I repeat. One is change in quantity demanded. The other one is change in demand. And these changes are because of the factors that affect demand. First, change in quantity demanded is the result of change in price of that particular commodity only. All other factors are constant. Change in demand is brought about by factors other than the price of the commodity. These factors are income, price of the related goods, habit, taste and fashion of the consumers, more entry or exit of customers in a particular market. So there are different factors. Now, as a result of change in quantity demanded, which is the result of change in price only, demand curve remains as it is, and equilibrium point on the demand curve is shifted either to the right or to the left, depending upon increase or decrease in the price of the commodity. But in case of change in demand, which is brought about by factors other than the price of the commodity, demand curve itself is shifted to the right of the or left of the original one. Right? We don't remain on the same original demand curve, but demand curve is shifted to the right or the left of the original one. Then the factors already we have discussed: income, price of related goods, taste and fashion of the consumers, right? These 4-5 factors already we have discussed. But there are certain situations in which we find that the law of demand is not applicable. People behave in a different way, opposite to the law of demand. And these situations are nothing but, in case of given goods, we behave like this. When in case of speculative activities, we behave like this. In case of wars, famines, or certain abnormal situations, when we are ignorant, customers are ignorant about the price of the commodity, we behave in a different way, right? So under this situation, demand curve, shape of the demand curve is not the downward sloping from left to right, but it takes an upward trend from left to right. And we call this demand curve as perverse demand curve. Thank you.